number one.
My number one, gotta be Wash. Gotta be Washington.
Okay.
Reason being, anytime that you can continuously feed that amount of kids into your program with that level of excitement, with that level of interest, with that level of dedication, you got to be the GOAT. I ain't gonna say the GOAT, but you know what I'm saying. You gotta be number one, because in my opinion, the most important thing at that time in Chicago was getting instruments into kids' hands. Nobody did that better than Washington. Nobody. Not in the city. You can make a case for a Proviso. You can make a case for West. But that, even still, even if West was a part of the city, those will be your top two. When we talk about putting instruments into kids' hands, keeping those instruments into kids' hands, keeping kids interested, keeping kids wanting to go forward, keeping kids wanting to go to the next level, getting kids to the next level.
Yeah.
Who really did that better than Wash at that time?
Yeah.
Just by sheer volume. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By sheer volume. When you're talking about, okay, yeah, you can talk about how Dunbar, your cordlesses, they all had somewhat mini feeder programs to Jackson and PB. I mean, the case could be made that for a time, King was a mini feeder for Fam for a good 2-3 years, for a good 2-3-4 years, wasn't it? Yeah.
It could be suggested. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Christians, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's one of the things where, it's just by sheer. He kept it alive. He kept Hope in Chicago alive for quite a while, single-handedly. I don't want to say single-handedly because he always had a staff, but that anytime you can put up those type of numbers when you're talking about actually getting kids to the next level, when you're talking about getting instruments in the kids' hands, period. Sheer volume, Washington did numbers, and that's not an easy feat. That's not an easy feat at all.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm a little biased because he's also on top of that. He wasn't one of those you can't come in here type of guys. I played for King.
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes.
Times.
Yeah,
there were
sometimes. There were times. Okay.
There were times. Sometimes he was with it.
He never closed the door on me.
I can think of a couple names that he did shut the door on.
I'm gonna say this.
And
if Washington closed the door on you, anybody out there listening, I don't know how many people gonna be watching this or even watching by this time. If Washington closed the door on you, it was for a reason. What type of kid were you? You feel me? Y'all, cause you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. There were some kids, no matter how good they were, no matter how much they wanted to learn, some kids you ain't want near your kids.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah.
He never closed the door on me. Let's just say that. Even kids who had no program. Because remember, Big Jason played for Washington. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
He did that for people.
Yeah.
He did that for people.